Slayer4040 here. I'm going to be taking a look at Slayer5182's ships. So let's first take a look at his fleet arena. And what Slayer is currently running is the Executrix with the TIE Advance, TIE Fighter, and Biggs X-Wing, which is a pretty good fleet. Based on this fleet individually, the one thing he could definitely do is take the Executrix to level 85. But let's go take a closer look at things he could do to improve his fleet and get ready for his future. So first thing I always like to look at here are going to be the capital ships. And with the current fleet Slayer is running, the best capital ship for him to use would probably be Chimera. But the problem is, obviously by his home one here, he does not have the Chimera. And he doesn't have a 7-star Executrix either, which is fine, but that could improve. So what we need to do is look at how to get you access to the Chimera. And in the meantime, you do need to just slowly put some effort into your Executrix so that you can stay up to date there and not get behind. So for your home one, you're going to want to gear up your Akbar a little bit more. It's a good ship overall, and with the Millennium Falcon coming out, it's going to be meta once again. So it's not going to hurt in the long run. And 7-star your Akbar, probably, because, again, he's a good character for ships. And it will put some effort in home one. You're going to need a 6-star home one for other things in the game to unlock the further challenges and ships anyhow. And just working on home one overall to get you that direction. You're going to have a 7-star home one in order to unlock the Chimera. So the next thing you're going to need is, I'm not exactly sure how many, but at least 3 to 5 rebel ships, 2 of which have to be the Ghost and the Phantom to unlock the Chimera. I see you've started work on the Ghost, which is excellent. The Ghost is a great ship. It's also currently a meta ship, and it can work great in fleets alongside Phantom or other ships, partially because it has a stealth mechanic and it has an AoE, which is great to have access to. But you have to 7-star this in order to get the Chimera, so work on that. The other one you want to work on is Phantom 2, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in more depth, but you want to get the Phantom 2 up to 7-star because it's an excellent ship. The other ones you want to work on is, you already got Biggs 7-star up, which is great. Just put more gear into Biggs because he's an excellent tank. And that's the best way to get his tankiness up is, at the moment for you, is gearing up his character. Some other rebel ships. There are 3 other rebel ships in the game: Wedge's X-Wing, Cassian's U-Wing, or Biston's U-Wing. Any of those work for the other 1 or 2 rebel ships you need to unlock the Chimera. I really don't think you need to worry about exactly which one when it comes down to unlocking the Chimera. If you're specifically wanting to go for what's more meta, a Wedge's X-Wing is mainly used nowadays as a counter to Houndstooth. Meanwhile, the other 2 are actually still used. Biston's U-Wing and Cassian's U-Wing are still used in meta teams. So let's get down to how to improve your current team. So the first thing is, your only tank at the moment is Biggs, which means in order to get him up, you gotta gear up the character himself, and you already max out his abilities here with Omegas. Looks like you have the mods maxed out, which is excellent. But really, those are the 2 things right now you could do that would help you out most, is just gearing up Biggs, because having a better tank will always help. And there's only really 2 other really good tanks in this game, which are Sunfac and Houndstooth for ships. There are a couple others, but those are the really notable ones at the moment. You also have TIE Advanced up, and it looks like you're working on slowly starting it. That's excellent. If you want to get Vader up to gear 12, it wouldn't hurt. And work on these abilities on the ship a little bit, but overall, I think your TIE Advance is a great spot, and it's probably a ship you have to worry about least. The other ship you're using right now is Imperial TIE Fighter, which is an excellent ship, and you can continue using that. But if you're going to continue using that, you're going to want to gear up your TIE Fighter pilot, because it's going to give you more damage, more speed on your ship, more health on your ship, all that sort of stuff there. And so the more the merrier, right? And what's good about this ship is when it dodges, it gets you when it dodges, it gives your capital ship turn meter. Now the other option here, Slayer, is you could go with Ghost, which I've already suggested for you. At the moment, you probably won't want to use it. But if you decide to go this direction, you'd want to level 85 it, continue working on 7-starring it, and gear up these characters. And why you would go with Ghost over Imperial TIE Fighter, either one honestly works in the team quite well. And TIE Fighter is doing well for you right now. But if you chose to go Ghost instead, it'd allow you to stealth TIE Advance so the enemy wouldn't kill TIE Advance too early in the match. Because you could call TIE Advance to assist, stealthing him while also calling Biggs to assist. But Imperial TIE Fighter works just as fine on the team you're using and gets buffs from Executrix because it's an Empire capital ship. So honestly, either one of these makes great ships for you. Now what we want to look at is what ships I think you should be using as reinforcements. And honestly, one of these ships isn't even on your radar right now, it looks like, which is the Phantom. What's excellent about the Phantom as a reinforcement is if you have its reinforcement ability maxed out, the Phantom 2 is going to decrease the reinforcement cooldown of your capital ship, meaning the very next turn you can call in another ship to reinforce, which essentially will help you swarm the other side and get more ships out there faster. And more ships is often better than using the abilities on your capital ship. On top of that, the Phantom 2 has this ability called Maximum Impact, which, if you have most everything maxed out on the Phantom 2, can do upwards between 80 to 100k in damage, which means when you bring the Phantom 2 in, you can immediately attack with it and probably wipe out a ship that's either getting closer to being dead or just has a lot of health. I've brought the Phantom 2 in with an expose on TIE Fighter and just wiped it out of the battle. It's an excellent ship, and its maximum impact is amazing. You really don't want to underestimate the Phantom 2. So you really should be farming that ship now. So let's look at some other ships as reinforcements. Considering you don't have 7-star yet, you only have access to about 3 reinforcements. So once you get the Phantom 2 to a usable point, which honestly you can use it with under-geared characters, it's just going to deal less damage. But as long as you have its reinforcement ability maxed, you should be using the Phantom 2, especially if you have its stars maxed. Stars and reinforcement abilities maxed is the only thing I'm going to say you definitely need to worry about on that. The next one you're going to want right now, based on the ships you have, is the Slave one. This is going to do multiple things for you. First off, it's just a decent tank overall. Not tank, it's a decent reinforcement overall. If you have its reinforcement ability maxed out, it comes in with a lot of buffs. It's taunting, so it will temporarily act as a tank for you, and the retribution is so annoying on Slave 1 when it comes out. On top of that, now you need bounty hunters in order to get a 7-star Falcon. To unlock the Falcon, so it doesn't hurt to be going after Slave 1 already. And Boba Fett himself is also good to gear up and use in order to get a 7-star Chewie. So Slave 1, overall, great ship to go after for those reasons. Now, another ship that's good for you based on what you have unlocked is going to be the Scimitar. Here's why the Scimitar is good. You're using Imperial TIE Fighter. Scimitar comes in and puts Fault Stop on Imperial TIE Fighter. Even though the evasion has been decreased since Ships 2.0, Imperial TIE Fighter still evades a lot, which means you're giving your capital ship more turn meter and getting your ultimate out faster. Scimitar I see as a really good ship to go with the Imperial TIE Fighter. If you're not using the Imperial TIE Fighter, there are probably other options that are better. but that's what I would go with right now if I were you. The other options right now, based on what you have unlocked as reinforcements, would be TIE Silencer or Ghost. Ghost is a decent reinforcement, though still you need to get the stars up at least before you use it at all. TIE Silencer, uh, if you got it to level 85, would probably work well. Wait, sorry, I just missed something. You have First Order TIE Fighter, which is probably better than both those as a reinforcement, in my opinion. Because First Order TIE Fighter comes in, he'll put a target lock on a member of the opposing team, which gives your big Dark Lighter more protection. On top of that, it has an excellent special ability that you can just use over and over that deals lots of damage, and it will give turn meter to your side. So a little bit of turn meter advantage. Actually, I would go with First Order TIE Fighter over both the Silencer and the Ghost. But if you need a fourth option based on what you have at the moment, until you get Phantom 2 up, Silencer or Ghost would probably both be good. Silencer just deals a lot of damage. Ghost just has some good, useful abilities. Probably go with Silencer over Ghost since you have it more maxed out at the moment. But there are ships you need to be working on the future. So I've already told you you need to be working on Ghost and Phantom. Both excellent ships that are going to be working together with the Millennium Falcon meta that's about to emerge. On top of that, though, you need to be working on the Bounty Hunter ships. Normally at this point, I would say go Geos. Geos are great if you want to go for them. But the Bounty Hunter ships are also good, and they can counter Geos quite well if you encounter a lot of them. So you need to be going for Houndstooth. It's the best ship tank in the game, anyhow, even though the Millennium Falcon can now melt it down. And you're going to have the Houndstooth in order to unlock Millennium Falcon. You also are going to need the IG-2000 and the Xanadu Blood in order to unlock the Millennium Falcon. All great ships. The only negative thing about them is they are hard node farms. But they do work well. They have great synergy together with the breach mechanic. You're going to need to get them eventually if you want to get the Millennium Falcon. However, if you need a team to work on in the mid time that's going to be better for you, you could work on Geos. They'll work great with your Executrix. Let's just take a look at your abilities on the Executrix here so you know what to prioritize. Make sure you're prioritizing victory at all cost over all other abilities. It's basically leadership ability and buffs all your ships. Then I would prioritize heavy ion cannon in executive order with Imperial Assault as your fourth prioritization. Turbo laser batteries as the last thing you max out on the Executrix. But the team you're using right now is probably fine, Slayer. Just take a look at the recommendations I made for reinforcements. Make sure you get your Phantom up partially so you can lock Thrawn, but also because it's an excellent reinforcement. And once you unlock it, max out its reinforcement ability. You will not be sad by using that ship as a reinforcement. I've been using it for a while, and I was using it even when I had those Phoenix characters on it, a little bit under geared, around gear 8, gear 9. So trust me, go for that ship. It's great, and it will work well in the meta for you. On top of that, as other reinforcements, right now, based on what you got, Slave 1 will be great, Scimitar should be great for you, First Order TIE Fighter should all be good options for you to go with. If you need another option, you could go with a TIE Silencer, but I think those other three will do a little bit better for you. If you have any questions in the future, reach out to me. I'll gladly do another one of these for you. But talk to you later, if not. And get on fighting.